Okay, HadesOmega here. So I'm doing a little video on what kind of gear I wear when I do adventure riding. So it's HadesOmega, HadesOmega's Adventure Gear Loadout. So I'll tell you now, when I ride, especially when I do adventure riding or off-road riding, or just riding in general, I don't show any skin. That's the way I ride. I don't show any skin. Maybe around my neck, I don't know. But that's about all the skin you're gonna see on me. And yeah, so that's the way I ride. And then another tip I have about riding gear in general is buy the buy the best gear that you can afford. And this is the best gear that I can afford right here. It's not the highest end gear like the climb stuff, but you know what? It works for me. It works for me and doesn't break the bank for me. So let's start from we'll start from the feet on up. How about that? So here I got like two sets of boots. This is kind of like my old setup. Yeah. So all this gear is what I'm wearing currently now, in like early 2017. And I mean it's changed over the years, but still pretty much the same stuff. So normally, so what I'm wearing rocking right now are the Comp 5s, the Fox Racing Comp 5s. These are the Comp 5 shorties, and these are the full size Comp 5s. I decided to go to a full size boot, full size dirt boot, and they are tall, so tall. See, yeah, this one only has like 2 buckles, 3 if you count the Velcro strap. This has like 4 buckles. It's so tall. It's been a long time since I wore dirt bike boots. Ever since I broke my foot, I've been using shorty boots, but I decided to give these a try. They were about like $200. They're not bad on the price. I think these are about $150. These are great boots. I've worn these for a long time, and I love them. They're really good. It's pretty much like a hiking boot. You can move your foot really well. It has really good movement, but yeah, the protection is probably less for your feet. But I never had a problem with them. Only problem is they're short. So like I had always had problems with hitting my shins on the foot pegs when I like have to ditch the bike or whatever. So I started wearing these Leatt shin and knee guards, but I got kind of sick of having to every morning have to put these on, or every time I have to take up my gear off, I have to take these off. It's so annoying. So because you got to wear this over your underwear and under the shell, under the pants. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. So to get away from that, I bought a full size boots. It has some pretty good protection here at the shin. And it's got some better protection. It's got protection all around. It's probably not as good as that, because that's a hard and soft protection. I don't know. I would think that those Leatts shin and knee guards are a little more beefier than this, but this doesn't have a gap in it. You'll have like a gap here in protection. But anyway, so yeah, so I decided to go with these because I didn't want to put those on all the time, and probably water will find its way less into these boots. So my feet will still get. These are okay. If you do a big splashy, your feet may get wet. Hopefully these ones are a little better. So I'm still getting kind of used to them. It's not a full-on motocross boot. Yeah, it's not a full-on motocross boot. It doesn't feel like you're wearing like a cast or anything. It's more like an adventure riding boot. You can still like articulate your feet pretty good. And I don't even think these are fully broken in yet. They're still pretty new. So they run small, both of them. So you have to buy a size up. These are like size 11s, I think. Yeah, size 11. So those are the boots. Obviously, for the underwear, I just wear regular socks. I wear like ankle high socks, and yeah. So and then I guess since I was talking about the underwear earlier, let's go straight to the underwear. So this is what I wear underneath everything. I I just go to Ross and I get a bunch of these kind of like sports t-shirts and pants. I got this one at Cycle Gear. This is Cycle Gear's Heat Out riding underwear, and I always like wearing the riding underwear because it helps cool your skin down, or it keeps you warm. It wicks away the sweat, and it makes it more comfortable to wear, like your gear. Like I don't like the gear, the pants or the jacket rubbing on you. So yeah, that's so this is what I wear underneath, and just like kind of like a moisture wicking t-shirt. This is I used to be in the Army, and I got this at the PX. It's one of the ones they sell for. This is actually a uniform shirt. You can wear this under your uniform in the Army. But I have other ones. They're different brands. Like I said, I just go to Ross and then I look in the sports shirt section and I look at them. Layer 8 sells some pretty good ones, and there was a Japanese brand. The name eludes me right now. I'll put a subtitle or something. But Layer 8 makes pretty good stuff, and you can find a whole bunch of stuff at Ross for cheap. So that's how I go. That's where I go to save some money. All right, and then so let's get to the meat of the gear here. So these are the Olympia Dakar pants. So if you watched the earlier video of mine, you'll know that I upgraded from the Moab. I don't know if it's really an upgrade, but I went from the Moab to the Dakar, and there's some issues. The pockets are smaller than the Moab. I like the bigger pockets on the Moab, but like I had to give those pants up. Anyway, yeah. So it has a knee armor here, and this has I have beefed up the hip protection on this. I use a thick 2-inch belt here. And I've beefed up the armor in these with the force field thigh armor, because I hit my hip. It's hip armor. Yeah, see, it has this force field hip armor, and it has the original armor. See, this is the original armor. It's just a little piece of foam. It doesn't do anything. So I decided to just add that with the force field thigh armor. So I got some beefy thigh protection. I haven't got to test it out yet, and I hope I don't. But yeah, I hit my hip twice. One in Baja, and then... Well, I fell off my street bike. I hit my hip on the pavement at low speed, and it hurts. It's no... I suggest you get some good hip armor. It's one of those things that you don't think about. It's not very common. Like, oh yeah, but if you think about it, your hips are they're very pointy, right? If they hit the ground really hard, it's gonna hurt. And I was hurting for months after I fell on a hip. It probably, sometimes I still feel it sometimes. So yeah, get the best hip armor you can get. So yeah, these have like I think these are CE level 1, or I think they're CE level 1 knee pads. They're pretty good. They're probably not as good protection as this. This won't move. Well, this kind of moves. But also these pants are really big. These to go over the boots. I bought some extra big pants. So yeah, that's that. It's got the pockets for all my stuff. Usually I'll put my wallet in this pocket and like a camera here, like some change or whatever. Yeah, I have a camera tripod in here, the mini tripod. And in like keys or whatever. It's nice that the Olympia had these little pockets. I think I like the pants better than the jacket. The pockets on the jacket are near useless, at least the lower ones. So here's the jacket. This is my tool belt is what I would call it. So this has the back protection, shoulder, and elbow, so I don't have to worry about any of that upper protection. I never had any problem with it. You can change out the back armor and stuff on it. It's pretty good. I think the armor is pretty good. It's pretty stiff, and it's got some good foam on it. I think the armor is pretty good on the Dakar already. Usually I'll keep... I have a neck gaiter here. It's kind of like a scarf. It's like what the Army issues soldiers. I don't know if they still do anymore, but yeah, it's kind of like a little scarf, so when it gets really cold... So let's put that in there. Well, let's leave that out here first. And then I usually put my camera in here, and... some other stuff. So I got like a, see, I got a little microfiber cloth for cleaning the face shield, some Advil, tire pressure gauge, that kind of stuff. Head sock. I have a head sock in that jacket. I like to ride with the head sock because I don't like to get my helmet all yucky. Yeah, so there it is. That's upper and bottom. The back of this has another pocket, and in the pocket I put a is my wind liner, my wind and water liner. So let's go take a look at that real quick. I don't normally like to store stuff back here, but just to save on space, I'll put it in there. But this is the wind liner for the Moab jacket. That's that's your first layer if it gets cold or wet. This will save you from the cold and the wet. I forgot this jacket on LA to Barstow to Vegas, and I paid for it. This jacket really works. It blocks the wind, and like if it rains, it keeps you from getting wet, because this is a mesh. It's a mesh jacket, so it's designed to flow a lot of air. Water goes straight through it. So if you're not wearing this, you're gonna get wet. All right, so let's go to the head. So this is my K-Berg Tour Max. This is it's a European helmet. It's not really DOT approved helmet. There's some better options nowadays. This helmet's about 2 years old now, but I'm still rocking it. It's not my. It's got some flaws, but I like it overall. It matches my gear pretty good too. The color scheme, but it's a modular dual sport helmet, or a modular adventure helmet, and I wear Moose Youth. I think they're qualifiers, youth goggles with them, and this has like the light tint on it, light tint face shield. Yeah, it's got scratches on it already. And yeah, so this is the helmet. What I like about this helmet is it has this. Ta-da! That comes in really handy. You don't have to put sunglasses on. And it's equipped with a Sena SMH10. Good old SMH10 Bluetooth dealie. I just use it for music mostly, or if I need to listen to directions from the GPS. And my On Air Pro 3 is on it, and like inside is like all the stuffs, the speakers and all that, and microphones. And then yeah, I wear a head sock under it, so it's just to keep the helmet fresh, you know. And usually I'll keep these goggles in the bag. So this is this cheap bag I got at Daiso for $1.50. So they just go in there, and I'll put that in my pocket or in a backpack or something. And really, you only need to use the goggles if it's really dusty. It's easier to clean them. The dust doesn't get inside the goggles, whereas on the face shield, it can still get underneath. It'll go underneath your helmet. So if it gets really dusty conditions, it's better to go to goggles. And if you're in like the forest or something, and it's really tight and there's branches everywhere, if the branches hit your face shield, it's gonna scratch it. And a pair of goggles is easier to replace than a face shield. Trust me. This face shield is like $40 or something, where I can get some goggles for $20 or $30, or just replace the plastic part, you know, the lens. All right, so let's move to hand protection. This is what I'm rocking. I'm rocking 3 pairs of gloves. So before I used to have 2 pairs of gloves. I used to have an Alpine Star SP2s and some kind of dirt glove, and I went with these Racer. I think these are the Rally gloves. Yes, these are the Racer Rally gloves. I've been using them for a while, and honestly, I like them. They're a good glove. They have I have to have like a goat skin palm on my gloves. I can't do the Clarino, the fake leather stuff. It's not good for my hands. Oh yeah, speaking of that, let me show you something else. So inside my jacket here, let's get back into the jacket. I have these guys. I have these Risk Racing under kind of glove things. They're palm protectors, and these keep you from getting those blisters right here, and it makes the glove more squishy kind of. But they actually work. I use them in Moab, and they're not super comfortable. They're not easy to put on. You know, it's not. It's kind of like a weird glove that you just put on your palm of your hand, kind of like that. It's gonna kind of look like that when you put it on. I put that on if I feel like I need to. You know, my hands are hurting. Because after a while, you know, it hurts. It hurts me to thing it. These gloves are okay. I think the protection level is a little low. It's a good dirt glove. It's a little warm for a dirt glove, but it works. It has a little touchscreen dealie right here, so you can use touchscreen devices. It has some knuckle protection and some protection here on the side. No real palm protection. So I'm trying to upgrade to like a Nox Orsa glove, but that wouldn't be for dirt. So I'm still trying to find a good dirt glove. Anyway, yeah. So for SP2s, I wear these. I wear these the majority of the time. Even off road, I wear these off. Unless it gets too warm and my hands get kind of clammy, then yeah, I will switch to the racer gloves. But these are what I rock. So yeah. So the racer gloves are strictly for dirt mostly. Yeah, they just don't. They're not. When you're riding off road, you're not really going at that fast speed, so you don't really need the best protection. These gloves are kind of falling apart already too. You kind of see this part is coming off here. I kind of glued it back together, but we'll see. So far, they're holding out all right though. Yeah, I used to have a Fox Racing paw protector, but it hurt my hands. I could probably use them with this though. And then I have these Alpine Stars Dry Star gloves. I bought these recently. I haven't really tested them out that much. I took them out on one ride. So when I was in Japan, let me tell you a story. When I was in Japan, I did not have heated grips on the bike I rented. And it was 5 degrees Celsius. It was less. Yeah, it was around 5 degrees Celsius in Japan at night. And when I went up Mount Fuji, I remember it was so cold. Your fingers start to go numb. Before your fingers go numb, I think that it becomes painful, you know, and then it becomes numb. So yeah, so I said like, hey, I gotta get some better gloves. These are okay. These are good to about like, I would say, they're comfortable to about 50, and then when you get into like the 40s, they start to get uncomfortable. Then when you get under 40, it's like, yeah, this is way too cold. And but with heated grips, they'll go a lot better, you know. And I've had these for a long time. I love SP2s. They're great gloves. They're not too bulky. They're not you know, it's a gauntlet glove too. They're not very bulky, and they're comfortable, and they have some good protection. Nice all-around leather protection. Some padded palm here. Good stuff. It's good stuff. So yeah. So I'm just trying this out. I'll give a proper review on these later. They're still pretty new. I'll tell you this: it feels like you're wearing oven mitts when you're wearing these. But hey, whatever. I like to have nice, not freezing fingers, not freezing digits. You know. So I think that and that will just bridge the. I'm planning to do the Trans-America Trail. So whatever weather I encounter, I want to be ready for it, you know. And I think this, in conjunction with heated grips, will be good. And it has some decent protection. It's pretty much, it looks very much like the Alpine Star SP2 glove, if you look at it. Same kind of concept. It is textile. There's less leather on it, but it has a goat skin palm and everything. Yeah, it's almost the same construction. It's just this one has kind of a liner in it to keep you warm, whereas this does not. But yeah, I've ridden with this glove temperatures from like 35 degrees to like 100 degrees, 105 degrees or something, you know. But yeah, when it gets to about triple digits, these become kind of uncomfortable unless you're moving fast. And when it gets to about the 30s and maybe like the low 40s, it's gonna be painful. So yeah, so these are the gloves that HadesOmega rocks. 3 pairs of gloves. I think it's a little excessive, but hey, I got a good range of temperature and protection with these 3 gloves. So yeah, and then this helps extend my riding At least it keeps me from getting blisters. So there it is. So pretty much, yeah. So if you wanted to know what HadesOmega wears when he goes on adventure riding, this is pretty much what I'm wearing right here. Now I do have some additional pieces of gear that I keep on the bike. So generally, I will be wearing all of this. Not this is another set here, but I'll be wearing all of this, and then one pair of gloves, and the other two pair of gloves will go in like a saddle bag or a pannier bag, and then obviously I'm wearing the underwear. Sometimes I will wear a very light sweater, kind of like this, but it's a long sleeve. If I want to get a little more warmth, and pow, here we go. And I got these. These are two extra articles of gear that I keep on the bike if I need them, if I need to wear them. So these are some Frog Togs. They're inexpensive rain pants. The thing about the Dakar pants is that they're a mesh pants, and there is no liner in them. Unlike the Dakar jacket that has it has two liners. It has two liners and then the outer shell, and one of the liners is the wind and water liner, and it keeps the water and wind off of you. This doesn't. Everything goes through it. So like, I mean, the underwear will keep you warm, and if you're in some really cold temperature, you can wear some like long johns, like the warm underwear. But yeah. So there's nothing to keep your lower body from getting wet. So that's why I have these Frog Tog overpants. They're just cheap rain pants. I've had them for a while now. I've only used them a handful of times, thank God. But yeah, they work all right. It's not the most comfortable, but it'll keep you dry. And then there's this. This is the second liner I was talking about for the Dakar. This is a thermal liner. This will keep your body heat in. It'll insulate you. So this is if it's extremely cold out. If it's in like the 30s or 40s, then it's time to bust this out. Yeah, but other than that, I don't wear it. It's kind of bulky. I kind of don't like it. Sometimes I don't take it with me if I don't think it's gonna be really cold. So yeah, it's more bulky than the other liner does. But it's really I mean, it's not like it's heavy or anything, but it's padded and everything. It's insulated is what I like to say, and yeah. So there you go. So that is the gear that HadesOmega rocks when he does the adventure riding. Hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something. If you guys got any comments or tips, that would help me improve my gear. That would be great. Or if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. HadesOmega out.